Hey guys, so I wanted to basically make the video that I said I was going to make about what happens if you get into a car accident. I can only speak for New York, but I'm not sure if this would work in other states. Basically, if you get into a car accident, you're covered by your own insurance. It's called no fault. You get $50,000 of coverage to cover your medical expenses. That means if you have to take an ambulance to the hospital, if you have to go to the emergency room, if you need to get a surgery, if you have to go to physical therapy. What I suggest is if you're the one that got hit, or if you're in pain, that you contact a lawyer. If you're the one that got hit, or if it's not your fault, then you contact a lawyer immediately. Go to physical therapy if you need it. What happens is anywhere from like 1 to 2 weeks later, you can start getting back pain, neck pain, knee pain. All these things can start popping up because it takes a while for it to hit. Your spine actually got out of alignment if you were hit hard. And sometimes if you were hit lightly, sometimes you just shock and your whole body just kind of tenses up and, so make sure that you do get a lawyer. Make sure that you are okay. If you need to go to the emergency room, it's covered. They will give you a no-fault number. The representative over the phone. Well, obviously, if you get into an accident, first thing you do is you call the police, then you call your insurance company, ask the other person for their information, give that to the insurance company, make sure to take their plate number immediately in case they run from the scene. And then, you can go into all of that. If you are starting to get pain, it's really important for you to find doctors that take no fault. Unfortunately, there isn't a directory, at least not in New York, of no-fault doctors that you can go to. So you ask your lawyer, you ask your physical therapy office for recommendations. Make sure that you're okay mentally. You can go to cognitive therapy and get brain scans if you don't feel like yourself after the accident. What else? When you do find a lawyer, don't just go to anybody. I know they have a lot of television lawyers. What I did is I looked for the top, accident lawyers that were around, and I chose that. What else? Make sure that when you contact a lawyer, that you let your insurance company know, because your insurance company cannot contact you directly if you have a lawyer. If you don't have a lawyer, then you don't have anything to worry about. The thing with lawyers is they usually have you sign a contract. It's like option A or option B. Option A means that you pay for everything out of your settlement, basically a la carte. So each thing you're going to pay for. Option B says that you don't pay for anything until the case is settled. If you win, then they take 33% plus any of the extra legal fees. If you don't win, you owe them nothing. So most people go with option B. But remember, at the end of the lawsuit, they will be taking money out in addition to that 33% of what they're owed. In New York State, whenever you go see the doctor, you get a surgery, you have to sign a lien, saying that if your insurance company doesn't pay them, that they can take it out of your lawsuit settlement because they're accepting no fault. I always rip that page out. I don't sign it. You don't have to, but I always rip it out. I keep it. I put it in my file. I take a picture. I send it to my lawyer and I say, I did not sign this. So they can't come after me. They can only take and accept what no fault is giving them. And I think that covers everything. There's not really much more that you can talk about. A lawsuit will take anywhere from 1 to 4 years. So if you think you're going to, if anything's going to happen, it's not going to happen. You should just be happy if you get anything. What happens is that there's a lot of fees that come out of your settlement. Whether you did sign the lien paper, sometimes if you didn't, they're still allowed to get their share. So you think that you're going to get a lot of money, but you're not at the end of the day. Then they have something called an advance. So you can actually get up to $10,000 in advance if your lawyer feels like you have a case. They talk to a lending company, but you're going to pay a very high interest rate. If you borrow $10,000 after 2 years, it turns into $20,000. You think it's not a big deal because you think you're going to get all this money. But if you don't, you still have to pay back that loan and the interest. Now, the interesting thing is if you don't win the case and you don't get any money, then you don't have to pay back the loan. It's very interesting. You're entitled to wages. Okay, so they'll pay you in New York up to $2,000 of your wages. So whatever it is that you made for the year, or less deductions. If you made a certain amount, they'll give you up to 75% of that, up to $2,000 for the year. So if you made $4,000 a month, they're not going to give you $4,000. They'll give you the $2,000. If you made $3,000 a month, they'll still give you the $2,000. If you made $2,000 a month, they might only give you $1,600. So it just depends on, what it is that you made that you can actually get as loss of wages if you're not able to work after a surgery or after the accident. They will compensate you for that, but you will need to have 2 years of your taxes ready to give to them, in addition to any other things that you have. Child support, any other documentation, but I think that should be on your taxes. What else? If you buy anything, you need to have the receipt, but they will not reimburse you if your doctor didn't give you a prescription. So if you're going to buy, like I had broken toes, and I had to get a boot, but nobody gave me the prescription. So I didn't get reimbursed for that, which I think is stupid because I needed it and nobody gave it to me. But whatever. But anything else that you need, your doctor has to write a note saying that you needed it, and then you'll get reimbursed. Mileage. If you are driving, they will reimburse you the mileage that it takes from your home to the physical rehab place or the doctor's office, and then back to your house. They'll give you like 50 cents a mile right now. It changes, depending on the year. But they will reimburse you that mileage, and they will write you a check. You have to submit that every 90 days, but I would do it every 30. Just do everything every 30 days. It's better safe than sorry. If you have a disability note from your doctor saying that you can't work, then you need it every 30 days. So even if the note is for 6 weeks, you have to go back in 30 days and ask them for a note, or while you're at the doctor's office, which is very, very helpful, have them write a second note, 30 days from the day that you went to the doctor's office saying that it's extended an extra 2 weeks. So that'll save you time and money. They don't reimburse you for parking. They don't reimburse you, I don't believe, for bus or train fare. I'm not sure about that, but you have to look that up, or ask, and that's basically all that I know right now. So I hope that helps people, because I know that I was clueless. I knew nothing about any of this. I didn't know what I was entitled to. I didn't know what I wasn't entitled to. I didn't know how to, I called like 50 doctors. None of them took no fault. So I went with the recommendations. The first lawyer I had to switch because he didn't do anything. He was like 2 years out of college, didn't know what he was doing. It was just, it's a process, and I just don't want anybody to have to figure it out if you don't. So hopefully somebody sees this video and figures out what they need to do. Basically, call the police, call your insurance company, make sure to take their license plate number as soon as the accident happens, because some people will hit you and run. And then once you get the license plate number, you also have to kind of get the color, make, and model if you can. Make sure that you get a lawyer if you're not at fault, even if you are at fault, because if they sue you, then you need to have a lawyer. But I wouldn't get a lawyer until there's a suit, if you're the one that hit them. Then make sure that if you're not feeling well, you start going to a physical therapist. Make sure you're documenting the days that you go. Make sure you're documenting what they tell you. Make sure that I actually asked them for a copy of everything that I signed, and I scanned it and I kept it on 3 different places because I'm paranoid. And then I mail it to my lawyer, you know, all the things that I get that they might not get, like certain bills, like the ambulance bill and stuff like that. They don't get it, so you have to get it and then send it to your lawyer. Make sure that you document when you start getting the pain. So if it came like a day after or 3 days later, make sure you write everything down. If you wake up with paralyzation in your arm, make sure you write down the days. Because when you go up on the stand and you need to talk about everything, they're going to want you to be as specific as possible. And if you keep good records, it just means that you're more responsible. I think that's everything. So I hope none of you ever have to experience that. I wish you all the best of luck in life. And that's it. Bye.